Hey, what up? Say hey to everybody. The live stream. Say hi. Oh man, come on. You have any recommendations for a Boros equipment deck? Yeah, I got 5. Look, look, right there.
How are you even reading that?
Because I got good eyesight. Bye. You got any recommendations for a Boros combo equipment deck? No? Dang, she's my Boros combo equipment guy. Unfortunate. Okay, so we got Boros combo equipment. They say this is a favorite of mine. It's a Cole the Forge Master deck that has a janky and redundant 4-card combo. You are required to have Cole, a 0-drop. Wait, I thought it was Kroll. No, it's Cole. Okay. Cole, a 0-drop creature, an equipment that equips or attaches itself for free, and a sack outlet that will provide a win with infinite triggers, Altar of Dementia, and Goblin Bombardment type effects. Okay, cool. Sweet, let's check it out. So, Cole, what is Cole? Interesting. The old hound dog, says K Scott. Yeah, really, she's lurking. So Cole the Forge Master is a red and a white for a 2/2. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, if it was enchanted or equipped, return it to its owner's hand. Creature tokens you control that are enchanted or equipped get +1/+1. This is a really cool idea for a deck, honestly. Neither have I, but it seems really efficient now that I'm like putting it together in my head. So the combo is to have Cole out, a 0-drop creature, which he runs 8 of them. It's a pretty good thing. He runs the 3 Kobolds, the 4 Kobolds, Ornithopter, Memnite, and Phyrexian Walker. And Shield Sphere. Okay, so you need a 0-drop creature. You need Cole. You need an equipment that equips for 0. So, Lightning Greaves, for example. And then you need a sack outlet. So, like Blasting Station. Sacrifice a creature. Blasting Station deals 1 damage to our creature player. Whenever a creature comes into play, you may untap Blasting Station. So that's perfect. You have Blasting Station in play. You tap it to sacrifice a creature. You sack your Ornithopter. Blasting Station does 1 damage. Your commander triggers because it was equipped. It returns Ornithopter back to your hand. You play Ornithopter. You equipped it for free. Since a creature died, you untap Blasting Station. And then you get an infinite combo. Very cool. And you can do that with any outlet, any sack outlet, any 0-drop, and any equipment that equips for 0. And there's a ton of ways to to tutor up equipments and artifacts and specific stuff like that. So this actually seems really efficient. This actually seems like scary to play against. So of course we've got 0-drop creatures. We've got the Kobolds. We've got Memnite, Ornithopter, Phyrexian Walker, Ragrock, and Shield Spear. All good. He also runs quite a bit of 1 and 2 drops. 1, because they're all just really good in his deck, but you could also just pop off with like one of these 1-drops. Actually, Moon Vessel is a 0-drop, because when it dies, you get 1 mana. So this in the combo is the same thing as a 0-drop, so he actually runs 10 0-drops, or 9 0-drops. Oh, wow. Okay, hold on. Rewind. This is really smart. I'm putting this together while I'm looking at it. This is very, very big brain. So he runs Moon Vessel Mirror, and he runs Impulsive Pilferer, because the Pilferer drops a treasure, the Mirror floats a mana, which is the same as them costing 0, because then you can then use that to play him again. Okay, so he does run 10 0-drops. Very, very cool. Esper Sentinel's just good card draw. Goblin Engineer. 1 in a red for a 1/2. When Goblin Engineer enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an artifact card and put it into your graveyard. Then shuffle your library, pay a red, tap it, sack an artifact, return target artifact with mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. That's so good in here, because it tutors up an artifact. So you can tutor up Memnite, you can tutor up the equipments that equip for 0, you can tutor up utility like Esper Sentinel. That's crazy good in here. Then you put it in your graveyard, and then all you have to do is crack an artifact to get it back. You can crack your Memnite, crack your Ornithopter, crack your Phyrexian Walker, your Shield Sphere, your Mirror. You have a ton of cheap artifacts you can crack, and then get the thing you need out of grave. That's really good. That's actually really good. And then if that thing you need out of grave, or that thing you're sacking to Goblin Engineer is equipped, Cole will just bring it back. It's actually really good. Pure Steel Paladin. 2 white for a 2/2. Whenever an equipment enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. Okay, so that's essentially No, never mind. The equipments don't enter infinitely. The creature does. Gotcha. But this is really good in there. That's a lot of card draw. Equipments you control have equip 0 as long as there are 3 or more artifacts. Pure Steel is so good. SRAM, more good card draw. Stoneforge is super good in here. 1 and a white for a 1/2 when it comes into play. Search your library for an equipment card and put it into your hand. Pay 1 and a white tapper. You may put an equipment card from your hand onto the battlefield. It's better in other decks, but it's just another way to tutor up your 0 drops in here. So, again, very efficient. This seems like it wins super quick and like on the reg. This seems kind of like a high power deck. I like it a lot though. And 1400 bones, hell yeah. Kellen, again, another great tutor to search up an aura or an equipment card. Tutors up what you need. And then its other side gives you another line of play in this deck, which is cool. 2 in a red for a 2/2 double strike. Other creatures you control get +1/+0 for each aura and equipment attached to Kellen, the Fey Blooded. So you have another line of play of just throwing a bunch of enchantments and auras, or a bunch of equipments onto Kellen, and then just dropping your 0 drops and just bashing face with them. So that's really cool. But first off, you're just going to use her to tutor up whatever you need. Loran, some good removal. Quicksmith Genius seems really good. Whenever an artifact comes into play, you may discard a card and draw a card. So while you're going infinite, you can just filter out all your worst cards in your hand, put better ones in. I was going to suggest Arden, Intrepid Archaeologist in this deck, but it's a bit too specific since he activates only in combat. Oh, is he the elephant? How do you spell his name? Arden? Oh no, he's not the elephant. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may attach any number of auras and equipments you control to target permanent or player. Yeah, I mean, most of his equipments cost 0 anyway. This deck just seems like it's trying to efficiently win as quick as possible, which is sweet. It seems like scary fast. Ranger Captain of Eos seems super good in this. When it comes into play, you get to tutor out a creature that costs 1 or less and put it into your hand, and you can sacrifice it. Your opponents can't cast non-creature spells this turn. It keeps you safe from counter spells and removal by sacking it. Tutors up your 0-drop creatures for the combo. Super, super good. Pure Steel Paladin as a commander. Oh my god. That'd be so nutty. I'm sure there's a commander similar, but I don't think there's one that straight up makes all your stuff 0, though. Skyclave Apparition. 1 and 2 white for a 2/2. When Skyclave Apparition enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target non-land, non-token permanent you don't control with mana value 4 or less. When Skyclave Apparition leaves the battlefield, the exile card's owner creates an XX blue illusion creature token where X is the mana value of the exiled card. That just seems like good removal. This seems like it's going to be playing against other hyper-aggressive decks trying to win. And it just seems like this seems like good ways to get rid of combo pieces early. Sorceries. We've got Faithless Looting. Draw 2, discard 2, which is good. You're just trying to dig for your combo. Gamble. Again, 1 red to search your library for any card and then discard a card at random, trying to get your combo. Steel Shaper's Gift. Search your library for an equipment card, trying to get pieces to your combo. This is going to be all digging. Catharic Reunion, digging. Reckless Handling, digging. Shatter Skull is going to be a board wipe. Citywide Bust is going to be good against any kind of mid-range or battlecruiser decks, because this deck's so quick, it's going to destroy everything with toughness 4 or greater. It's going to be nothing we control. I don't know enough about Boros. I feel you on that one. I'm learning by looking at this deck. Seize the Spotlight. I've never seen this. 2 in a red for a sorcery. Each opponent chooses Fame or Fortune. For each player who chooses Fame, gain control of a creature that player controls until end of turn. Untap those creatures and they gain haste. For each player who chose Fortune, you draw a card and create a treasure. That's really good for 3 mana. Yeah, I like that. Wheel of Misfortune. All right, let's do it. Gotta mentally prepare myself for this one. 2 in a red for a sorcery. Each player secretly chooses a number 0 or greater. Then all players reveal those numbers simultaneously and determine the highest and lowest numbers revealed this way. Wheel of Misfortune deals damage equal to the highest number to each player who chose that number. Each player who didn't choose that lowest number, discard their hand and draw 7 cards. So everyone chooses an amount of life at random. The only person who does not get to discard their hand and draw a new one is whoever bidded the least amount of life. And then everyone else gets to discard their hand, draw a card, and whoever bidded the most amount of life loses that much. Perfect. Wheel of Misfortune is just fun. It's a fun commander card, and it's just good to filter out stuff, annoy with people, dig. So, Dusk and Dawn, 2/2 white for a sorcery. Destroy all creatures with power 3 or greater. Again, that's not going to be ours. And then Dawn, return all creature cards with power 2 or less from your graveyard. That's going to be us. That seems really good. Dusk and Dawn seems perfect. The Wheel of Migraines. Oh, trust me. It really is. Enlightened Tutor, 1 white for an instant. Search your library for an artifact or enchantment card. Again, digging. Silence is going to stop opponents from stopping our combo. Swords to Plowshares, good removal. Disenchant, good removal. Throw Possibility is going to help us dig. Tibalt's Trickery could also help us dig. We could counter a spell and then reveal off top to try to hit something, or we could just counter the opponent's spell. This is kind of multifaceted in this deck, which is really cool. That could probably be another line of combo play. What is this? I don't know what card this is. Oh, Chaos Warp. I didn't know that had one of these. That's cool. Yeah, good removal. Deflecting Swat, fantastic removal, and just stopping people from messing with your combo. Generous Gift, good removal. Stroke of Midnight, good removal. Valakut Awakening, more digging. Wear and Tear, good removal. Mana Ramp. Alter the Brood could be another line of play as a combo if this is in play while you're infinitely dropping equipments and creatures and replaying at creatures. Or, not equipment, sorry. When you're infinitely dropping creatures, this will be milling opponents. Each opponent, actually. So this could be another line of play to win with your infinite creatures you're going to be playing. I've resolved it so many times in my Terrio Wheels deck, and it always makes people groan. I bet it does. When I first pulled it out of that set, everybody was like, and I'm like, it's going in the deck. I'm like, we'll learn it if I play it. Sigh of the Shinobi. 1 colorless for an equipment that equips for 2. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may attach Sigh of the Shinobi to it. That seems really good. This is just a guaranteed way at instant, like, flash speed to, like, have your stuff enter equipped so that if someone does deal with it, Cole can trigger and just bounce it back to your hand. That's actually really cool in here. Shuku, an equipment that equips for 0. Perfect. Skull Clamp, it's going to be drawing you cards in this deck if it needs to. It's also an equipment that equips for 1. I'm sure you can throw this into the combo. Just pay 1 mana whenever you want to net 2 cards out of the combo. It seems great. Mana Ramp. Altered Dementia could be another line of play because Cole gives your equipped creatures +1/+1. So even though a lot of our 0 drops are 0/2s and 0/1s like Ornithopter or Phyrexian Walker, Shield Thing, Cole will give them +1/+1. So we will be able to mill them for 1 with Alter and go infinite. So that's good. Mana Ramp, Protection. Spawning Pit's cool. I actually really like Spawning Pit. 2 for an artifact. Sacrifice a creature. Put a charge counter on Spawning Pit. Pay 1. Remove 2 charge counters from Spawning Pit. Put a 2/2 spawn artifact creature token into play. So while you're doing all of this sacking and going infinite, if someone tries to stop it late on, for some reason, something weird happens, you'll have another line to play with this. So that's actually kind of sick. What was that noise? That had to have been someone outside. My window's cracked. That was I hope that came through. I doubt it did, but that was the strangest noise I've ever heard. Stormrider Rig. 2 for an equipment that equips for 2. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may attach Stormrider Rig to it. Again, causing your creatures to enter attached or equipped is really good. Mana Ramp. Oh. You ever get like a stitch in your rib? Oh, it's gone. That shit sucks. Ashnod's Altar. That could be another line of play to get infinite mana. So, I don't know what we have in here to dump infinite mana into. But infinite mana is never bad. Oh. We could go infinite on Shatter Skull. That doesn't win, but it does wipe everyone else's stuff, which is good. And just infinite mana is never bad. So, I get it. Blasting Station, we already explained. That can go infinite and just deal 1 damage. Grafted War Gear is an equipment that equips for 0. So, super good. It also, when it unattaches, sacks the permanent. So, if you don't have a sack outlet, I guess you could go back and forth between 2 0 drops with Grafted War Gear. I don't know what that would do, but it's a thing you can do. Whenever a creature comes into play, attach the club to it. So again, creatures entering equipped is very good. Besides Shatter Skull, I think it's just an outlet. Yeah, I agree. There's so many artifacts in the deck, you could probably dump a lot out of your hand with it. Excuse me. Sunforger. 3 for an equipment that equips for 3. Equipped creature gets +4/+0. Pay a white and a red. Unattached Sunforger. Search your library for a red or white instant card with converted mana cost 4 or less and put it into, or to cast it without paying its mana cost. That's really good. So that's going to tutor us up a ton of our tutors. So it's funny that it tutors up a tutor, but Sunforger is going to tutor us up. Enlighten Tutor, it'll tutor us up. Actually, a lot of good stuff. Silence, Swords to Plowshare, Thrill of Possibilities, Disenchant, Generous Gift, all the removal, Seize the Spotlight, Wheel of Much. Yeah, that can tutor up a ton of good stuff in here. I like it. I was thinking it was used to tutor up other tutors, but I guess we only have one other instant tutor. So it's mainly just tutoring up removal and stuff, which is completely fine. Like, it's an equipment. It's on theme. Tutors up removal. Seems great. Death Render, 4 colorless for an equipment that equips for 2. Gives creature +2/+2. Whenever equipped creature dies, you may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield and attach Death Render to it. Again, creatures entering equipped. Very good. Swift Reconfiguration is 1 white for an enchantment aura with flash. Enchant creature or vehicle. Enchant permanent is a vehicle artifact with crew 5 and loses all other card types. Not bad. It's a pretty decent form of removal, honestly. I think that's all it's being used for in this deck. If I'm missing something, please let me know, because I know this has some weird combo capabilities with stuff, but I think it's just being used for removal. Goblin Bombardment, this is probably the best sack outlet in the deck, because this goes infinite, just kills all your opponents with the combo. So Impact Tremors, actually. Goblin Bombardment and Impact Tremors essentially do the same thing, except this is when they enter, this is when they die. But still, very good in this deck. Fanatical Devotion, 2 and a white for an enchantment. Sack a creature, regenerate a creature. Just another good sack outlet. This card, I'm not sure. Swift Reconfiguration is a really underrated removal option. It really is. It's really good. Enduring Renewal. 2 and 2 white for an enchantment. Play with your hand revealed. If you would draw a card, reveal the top card of your library instead. If it's a creature card, put it into the graveyard. Otherwise, draw a card. Whenever a creature card is put into your graveyard from play, return it to your hand. What does this do? Oh, whenever a creature is put into your graveyard from play, return it to your hand. That's just like another Cole effect. Okay, yeah. It's just another Cole. This just, if he can't be played, you can drop this in exchange, and you can do the same thing. Okay, gotcha. And then lands. Cool. This looks strong. This is genuinely a scary deck to like look at. I can see this just beating my ass. I'm like, all right, turn 4. I got my 2 mana rocks. I'm ready to play these Battle Cruiser 7 and 8. Oh, I'm dead already? All right, that's... I brought a knife to a gunfight, it would appear. This is nasty looking. Enduring Renewal is lots of fun. I think it has infinite with a lot of Azorius Spirit tribal commanders and the X-Cost Spirit from War. Oh, that's true. Can you guys think of any cards for this? This seems like pretty tight. Like like already. This seems like a pretty like tight deck. Let me look. I always look through piles of cards. That sometimes gives me some ideas. But in this deck, I honestly don't. Isochron Scepter might be something to consider because you have Enlightened Tutor, Silence, Swords to Plowshare, Disenchant, Thrill of Possibilities, Tibalt's Trickery, Wear and Tear. You've got like 7 instants that cost 2 or less, which is, I would think, maybe enough to run Isochron Scepter, and then any one of these under Isochron seems really, really good in this deck. I'm not... Jeez, you hear that? That's not a weird noise. I know exactly what that is. The fucking mean bike out there. Let me look through here real quick. No, that won't work. What is he? He's a dwarf artificer? Dwarf warrior? Put Devilish Valet in here as another, just win con. 2 in a red for a 1/3 trample haste whenever another creature enters the battlefield. Double Devilish Valet's power. So even if you don't have any of the other stuff that makes you win off going infinite, you can just have this in play. Play your 0-drop creature over and over and over and over again. Double this thing to however big you want, and then bash face. So this is another win con outlet you could put in the deck. That actually seems really good in here. Dispatch? Oh yeah, Dispatch seems really good in here too. It's a good suggestion. 1 white for a tap target creature. If you have 3 or more artifacts, exile that creature. It's just another really good Swords to Plowshare with no downside, especially in your deck. You have so many 0-drop artifacts. Yeah, Devilish and Dispatch both seem really good. Yeah, that seems really great. Let me keep looking here for you, though. Let me grab some random. I took all my cards out of my binders and just put them in piles randomly, because it's more enjoyable for me to look through. It just reminds me of like looking through the bulk box when I was younger. That doesn't really matter. I was thinking deal double damage, but if you're going infinite, that doesn't do anything. Tithe Taker is kind of interesting in here, because you've got a ooh, hold on, maybe not even Tithe Taker, maybe Defense Grid. Your opponent's spells, I mean yours do too if you play them during other people's turns, but you're not doing a lot of instant speed play. Cost 3 more, so all their counter spells, all their removal and stuff during your turn cost 3 more to play, which will shut off a lot of interaction for your combo happening. So I think Defense Grid seems really good too. Dispatch, Defense Grid, Devilish Valet. Those all seem very good. I was going to suggest Sword of the Meek, but it won't work well. Most of the 0-drops are 0/1s, not 1/1s, which won't trigger the sword. Yeah, weird. That is weird wording on that card. You think it would say like 1 or less, but whatevs. You could throw a Banefire in here, honestly. 1, it's just good at ending games. And 2, you have an infinite mana sink in this deck. So it's just a fireball that's uncounterable and can't be prevented if it's 5 or more. So that just seems like another great way for you to just end the game with like your Ashnod's Altar. Seems really good. Oh, Jan Jansen's so good. That is such a nasty deck. Yeah, that's all I can think of though. As long as no one else in chat has anything, I think Banefire seems like a maybe. I think that seems pretty good in here. Devilish Valet, I definitely think you should put in the deck. Dispatch, I definitely think you should put in. That seems like just good removal. And Defense Grid seems really good because you have a lot of interactions with like searching for artifacts, bringing artifacts back from your graveyard. So if someone does have something to deal with this, 1, it's going to cost 3 more, but you'll be able to probably get it back. And it just is really annoying for opponents to handle your combo. But I think those are really good. This deck seems super, super, super tight and good. This is the only thing that I could really think to put in here. Yeah, I got nothing else for a suggestion. I don't play enough Boros. Same, but this looks cool. I don't play Boros, but this kind of makes me want to. Cool. No more suggestions. Banefire, Devilish Valet, Dispatch, Defense Grid. Try them out if you already have. Drop a comment on the VOD that gets uploaded. And let me know. If anybody else has any suggestions, I'm sure the deck creator is going to watch the video that gets uploaded under the live tab on my channel. So if you want to head over to that after we're done here and then drop a comment on some cards you want to suggest to him, he's probably going to be looking at it. So, but yeah, on top of that, have a good night and go play Magic, guys. See you.